from the Penn Libraries.
Hi guys, so once again I'm Rolanda, Evelyn, and I'm going to be talking about the Hosley Digital Literacy program, which Peter introduced, so I'll just give you some background on it. So the Hosley program is in partnership with the libraries, in partnership with CURF, which is the Center for Undergraduate Research and Fellowships, as well as Career Services, and they've kind of put together this great program which provides hands-on training for really like everything that you can think about in terms of technology. So that's building websites, that's digital design, that's crafting your online brand. So I'll show you some of the components of our curriculum. So these are the 8 modules that we'll go through over the course of the year. So the first one was digital information and literacy. That was really about learning how to navigate the internet, what content's out there, how to decipher if something is credible or not. Then we went on into presentation skills, really honing in on PowerPoint skills, how to integrate video and images into our presentations. We're currently right now on web design, which is I'm going to move into how to use programs like InDesign, Photoshop, Illustrator. So that's where we are now. Moving forward, it will be about using online resources for the job search. As a senior, that's super important. Then social media and crafting that online brand that I was talking about earlier. Number 6, our favorite, spreadsheets and data organization, which I actually think will be super helpful because I'm not very skilled in Excel, and I think it's a really important skill to have. Then we'll move on into graphic design and visual literacy, and then finally coding and programming. And so just to take you through the program structure, so essentially we meet, it's a small cohort of us, we meet twice a month, and that's how we do face-to-face interactions, have lesson plans, and then everything else is done online on Canvas. So that's when we're going to be reading articles, we're going to be watching TED videos, we're going to be watching lynda.com videos, and kind of learning how to integrate the materials that we got offline in the classroom. And then at the end of each month is when you complete an assessment to test that you have, grasped the concepts that we went over that month. And so all of this is really building up to this big project at the end, which is a website project. Vicki is actually in the room, and she's really great about allowing us to kind of make that whatever we want it to be. So someone could make their project a portfolio, and it could be an online collection of all the works that they've done, if you're a writer, if you're a photographer, or something like that. I am in the midst of planning a blog, and so Vicki has been really supportive in allowing me to make that my final project so that all of the steps that I'm learning over the course of this year can be, tactfully and very strategically used to that project. So I'm really grateful for that. I will also mention that Vicki allowed, there's a group of 3 of us who were most specifically interested in 2 of these specific projects, so graphic design and visual literacy. And so we've kind of created this cohort between the 3 of us where we ourselves meet once every 2 weeks with a digital design specialist in Van Pelt, and we have our own class on. Right now we're starting with InDesign, and we're going to focus in and hone in on those skills because that's what we're personally interested in. So really cool because we're able to kind of craft what we want the program to look like and how we want to implement it in our own personal use. So just moving forward, I think some of the key takeaways that I really appreciate about this program is that it's going to allow me to not only use these skills and programs that I'm learning outside of the classroom through this program, but also integrate them into the projects that I have, right? So much of the programs that I know now are as a result of the projects that I've had in other classes. So other classes that required me to make a movie, that's the reason that I know how to use iMovie. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't know how to use it because I wouldn't have an excuse to use the application. So definitely a great way to integrate not only from the classroom out, but from outside the classroom in. The program also has been really helpful in terms of allowing me to use these skills where they're especially needed in my extracurricular responsibilities. So I'm involved in a lot of clubs on campus where I'm marketing chair and where so much of our so much of my duty is about digital design, and so I would love to one day be able to create the actual flyers for my program as opposed to having someone else do it. So much of that is involved in branding of my club, branding of the events we're putting on, and so not only will my knowledge of these programs be helpful inside the classroom, but also in extracurriculars. And then, like I mentioned, I'm planning on launching my blog in the spring, and so I'm kind of using all of this time to ramp up and get all of these materials created so that when it's time for my blog to be launched, it could look beautiful, having used all the skills that I learned. And I'll show you some examples. Like, these are examples of inspiration that I pulled from some of the blogs that I follow. And just being able to like align text in a certain way, know what typeface you want to use, know how things should be centered, all of that, using that in programs like InDesign, I think would be really helpful. So, thank you.